So I'd like to invite you to take part in the shadow work practices for the inner child or the inner children. So I'm going to invite you into 3 different practices. The first one essentially is a foundational practice that is going to be relevant for all the shadow work that you do into the future. And in a global expression, it's simply called ReSourcing. Resourcing yourself, beginning from an optimal, positive, dynamic, full potential state. We want to be as a fountain, overflowing, so we are in an abundant state of being where there's a natural generosity inside of us, which we can then bring to the exercise and bring to the transformation. So often people start with the problem, and as you focus on the problem expands and gets bigger and bigger and bigger. This very simple principle is what you focus on is what you energize. So your focus brings it to life. So there's a skill between intense focus where you're generating and animating and bringing something to life, and a more gentle noticing where you just study the problem but without overly intensely animating it. So like, okay, this is what we're looking at, and then we're going to come back to the generative energy to build good, strong, centered, healthy energy. Because when we're in a state of strength, our spine is strong, our breath is flowing, our emotion is optimal, then we have something to give. As I said earlier in the introduction, this work is about turning in, bringing our attention inwards so we can undertake the inside-out approach and bring our resources to the problem, to the situation, to the discomfort, to the shadow. Resourcing is also called reparenting in the inner child work. So we want to establish what can be felt as a healthy parent, a stable being who's capable of having compassion, love, presence and nourishment for the inner child aspects that have been buried into shadow. So how do we resource ourselves? It begins, as I suggested, what we focus on is what we animate. So we want to do a little inquiry inside ourselves. So just invite you to close your eyes. First thing we're going to do is we're going to take a few deep, strong breaths. In through the nose. Hold the breath for a moment, and then release through the mouth. Big breath in. Hold. Release. Just one more. Open your eyes. I'll just explain this a little. So closing the eyes first of all is a sign I'm turning my attention in. I'm stop looking at the outer world, stop engaging in relationship or action in any circumstance or condition. I'm bringing my attention in. So all that happens simply by closing the eyes. Becoming aware of the breath. So you breathe in, you feel the breath coming through the nostrils. Feel it here, right here. You put your finger there if you want to feel the breath flowing. Then holding, there's no movement, there's a still point. And then out through the mouth, relaxed mouth, you're not forcing it, just a release, 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 release. Yeah. We start to tune into breath. And this breath is bringing our attention in, then stillness, and then relaxation. So this very simple practice, breathing in, holding, releasing, is already inviting and encouraging us to turn our attention in. This breath is also known as the physiological sigh. It's often given as an intervention for anxiety or to calm us down or to get into the parasympathetic nervous system. So it relaxes us, brings a state of calmness. If you want to, you can do this breath for 3, 4, 5 minutes. The best way is breathe in for a count of 4, hold for a count of 7, and gently release for a count of 8. Then you repeat. It helps you focus. You can use your hands, breathing in. So what this is doing, it's calming us down, relaxing the nervous system, bringing our attention here, into our body, our sensation, our emotions. So we're kind of shifting out of this mind state and activity over there and all the playground that's happening around us, and we're coming back inside to our own playground and we're calming things down. Yeah. So breath is life. Yeah. This is the primary resource. No breath, no life. Yeah. We resource ourselves, so we breathe in and breathe out like this for a while. Then I want you to feel your feet on the ground. Yeah. So your toes are touching the ground. I want you to imagine you've got roots going deep down from the feet, 1 meter down, 2 meters, 3 meters down, deep down, 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 down. Just wiggle the toes a minute, and the pelvis a little bit, and the knees, and just feeling like roots coming down. Just give your thighs a bit of a rub, just feeling the muscles here. This is the strength of the tree, like the trunk that goes down into the roots, underground, into the deep dark, with stability. Holding this magnificent tree is the roots, the roots, the roots, the ground. And it's true of our life. We are holding ourselves by so many layers underneath what is visible. So part of resourcing is rooting down. Yeah? Feel the roots, feel the roots. Go into this nice moist earth and feeling strong, solid and connected and vibrant and also nourished by the soil. I want you to imagine taking a breath from like 3 meters down through the roots, up into the feet, up into the knees and up into the pelvis, and then breathe out. So here we go. Same thing again, we breathe in through the nose. When we get to the pelvis, we hold the breath for a few moments. Then we breathe out through the soft mouth and let it go. Breathing up the roots from 3 meters down into the feet. Here we go. To the pelvis, holding the breath. And release and relax. Keep focusing on roots, groundedness, earthing, connection. Focus on the roots, the ground, the earth, the connection. Breathing in. Hold. Breathe out. Relax. And again. Hold. Breathe out. Relax. So this is just the beginning. You might want to do this for longer. I'm just going through this on video so you can be trained in the practice, and then you can measure the length of what works for you. But it's rooting down. So we've done 2 things so far. Calm the nervous system. And now we've rooted down, grounded. This is essential. Sometimes when we meet the shadow aspects of ourselves, some of them are angry, some are scared, some are lost, some are frightened. Some don't know how to connect or communicate. Some have been out in the cold for a very long time, in the cold, away from our awareness, away from our attention. So to receive such a characteristic, we need to be strong, centered, grounded, open-hearted. And that's the next stage of the resourcing. Okay? So we've got the breath, relaxation, we're rooted. So we start with the hands on the heart here. Take a nice big breath into the middle of you. And hold the breath. Relax. Breathing in, hold, out breath through the mouth. Just gently start to give the center of your chest a little rub. With the right hand, just gentle rub here. Just the fingers can be like this, you just do a little bit of gentle tapping. This just starts to wake up the energy around our lungs, around our heart. So often we get over-focused in the mind, thinking, or overly focused in our bellies on eating, sleeping. And we sometimes miss this middle of us, loving, connecting, compassion, kindness, generosity, abundance, harmony. Just take a nice big breath as you're tapping here. Just inviting your heart to wake up. Maybe you can see a rose here and it's opening. So we have the hands here, that's the petals open. So we can breathe in and it kind of closes as the energy gathers. Then we breathe out, it opens. Receives the sunshine. Breathes in, comes back in, and opens. I was amazed at nighttime the flowers, they kind of cover over at nighttime. So they don't need to be open to receive the light. They're containing in a moment of containment. Having good energy doesn't always mean being in this kind of hyper-dynamic state of expression. It's a balance between action and rest. It's figure of 8. Expression, relaxation, expression, relaxation. For example, if you go for a run, probably have a recovery period afterwards, 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes. And in that recovery period, the body is reintegrating, settling, reharmonizing, and you start to feel really good as well. It's nice endorphins start to move through the body after exercise. But you've got that intensity of the action itself, the sport, and then the resting response. We do this every day and night. We're waking and then we're sleeping, so that's the bigger cycle. But learning to practice these smaller cycles of action and rest. And we can train ourselves simply with the breath. It's like, breathe in, that's the relaxation. Breathe out, bow out into the world, off we go. Like, gathering, and it's the same thing with the rose. It's like containing, radiating. So we can have the hands a bit wider now. Give me a little bit of a rub here. Got a negative polarity here, masculine polarity here, feminine, masculine. Not with any value judgment, just in pure physics. And you rub them together and you generate a force field. You put the left hand still for a moment, put the right hand around, you might start to feel some sensation here. This means you're alive and energy is moving. If you don't feel it, it's still happening. You just haven't learned yet how to tune into your energy. Sensitivity, not yet. It's a whole adventure waiting for you. So rub the hands together. And then here, connecting, nice. Right. So we know the hands are energized. Now, with my open fingers, we're breathing in. Breathe into the heart, hold it for a moment, celebrate the breath coming into the heart. And then feel this flower opening. Love radiating, breathing in. Compassion radiating. Breathe in. Nourishment and presence. Just keep thinking, feeling the qualities of the heart. Breathe in. It's like you amplify, you fill up. Feel it for a moment in the silence and the holding. Then you shine outwardly. Just a couple more, a bit faster. One more. leave the hands here for a minute. Just rub them around the heart in the center. Physical heart, all the lungs. And you spread this through the body. Through the arms, down through the legs. Head. Okay, so these are 3 levels of resourcing that I'd like to invite you to get into before you do any deep process work, shadow work, other healing work, other emotional work. Be resourced. Yeah? First resource, relaxing the nervous system. Second resource, rooting down, feeling strong, connected to the earth. Third resource, waking up the heart. Getting present here, present as love, present in feeling, present as compassion and empathy and listening. So this is a generosity space, and you spread this energy through the body. So this is the practice of resourcing, or in the inner child work, this reparenting. And the parent here is the energized, optimal aspect, dimension of you, which is fully alive, fully awake, fully present, here and now, is able to parent the child. Okay. So thank you for waking up your optimum parent. We are now ready to do the shadow work exercise to meet the inner child, the inner children.